7 teams, 1 trophy. We're breaking down every serious contender for the 2026 World Cup, one team at a time. Not the headlines you already know, the stuff that actually matters. This is the Teams series. Spain arrives at this tournament as the bookmakers' outright favorite, around 16% probability on the prediction markets. Reigning European champions, the deepest midfield in the world, and a 17-year-old who, at his peak, is arguably the most exciting footballer on the planet. But let's talk about what the headlines are missing. For the first time in World Cup history, Spain's squad contains 0 Real Madrid players. Let that land for a second. 0. Dani Carvajal, the right back and one of the most decorated club footballers of his generation, retired from international duty after a serious knee injury. Real Madrid's other players either weren't selected or weren't in form. A squad without a single Galactico. That's not just a selection quirk. It says something about where the power in Spanish football currently sits. Barcelona and Athletic Club Bilbao are this squad's spine. Now let's talk about the elephant, or rather the hamstring in the room. Lamine Yamal tore his hamstring at the end of April against Celta Vigo, at 17, going into the most important tournament of his young life. Barcelona have reportedly been monitoring his recovery closely, their own physiotherapist traveling with the national team. Spain's coach Luis de la Fuente says he expects Yamal to be available for their opener against Cape Verde on June 15th, but those could be measured minutes, maybe the second half, maybe just showing his face so the opposition's defensive coordinator loses sleep. Here's what makes this interesting. Spain doesn't actually need Yamal to be at full throttle in the group stage. They have Nico Williams, Dani Olmo, and a midfield that could dismantle teams without a forward at all. Speaking of midfield, Rodri is back. The Manchester City metronome, who barely played last season due to injury, returned. When Rodri plays, Spain's win rate in major tournaments borders on absurd. He controls tempo the way a conductor controls an orchestra. When he's absent, Spain are still excellent. When he plays, there's something close to unbeatable. And then there's Pau Cubarsí, 17 years old, already a Champions League participant with Barcelona, already composure that belongs to a 10-year veteran, quietly one of the most technically assured center backs in the tournament. The real question for Spain isn't talent. It never is with Spain. The question is whether their European champion mentality translates when the pressure builds in a knockout game away from their comfort zone, in Dallas, in New York, in cities where even the grass and the stadium feels foreign. Their group is Group H, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. They should move through easily, but remember that Argentina face a potential crossover with Spain's half of the bracket in the round of 32. That could come early. Spain go in as favorites. They deserve to. But this isn't the complete machine of 2010 or 2012. There's youth in the engine. And youth under pressure is either transcendence or collapse. With Spain, history suggests transcendence, but we've been surprised before. That's Spain, one of 7 teams we're putting under the microscope. The full breakdown, all 7 contenders back-to-back in one video, is coming very soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And drop in the comments, do you think Spain can actually go all the way?